Welcome, welcome. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris, and I got the amazing Dream Team, Super Squad, Reach A&R team in the building. I don't want to say their names. I want them to introduce themselves. We look like a straight up like rap group right now, where we matching, but what's up, what's up? So yeah, introduce yourself. Let the people know, you know what I'm saying, who y'all are and what y'all do.
What's up? My name is Alex. I am A&R Manager here at Reach.
I am Dre Hunter. I am Director of A&R at Reach.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, this I feel like this is gonna be really chill because our group chats and our conversations be long. We be fighting each other. We've been holding everybody accountable, but it's gonna be a super fun one. I appreciate y'all. Shout out Dre too.
Yeah.
Dre's always pushing the building. I feel like me specifically, and the artists to like engage media more. So I figure, you know, as we're doing a lot of conversations everywhere else, why not have y'all on the 116 Life and let the people know what really goes on behind these records. So, yeah, I mean, I would say I've been at Reach for about 6 years now, and this A&R team, they've been incredible. So yeah, a little bit about, I'll probably start with you, Dre, and I'll come to you, Alex.
Okay.
Tell a little bit about where you from, how you got here, how you got into music, like what brings Dre Hunter to this position to like director A&R? Man,
it's been a journey for real. Originally from Miami, Florida. You know what I mean? Caribbean roots. My father is Jamaican.
Shout out Jamaican.
You know what I mean? So, you know, mother is American. I ain't mean to do my mama like that. Like,
yo, she just American, bro.
Yeah, she American. But nah, you know, so I've and my mother loves Jamaican culture.
Yeah. So
I've always had that around me. So it was very musical in my house coming up.
Gotcha.
A lot of different types of music and stuff like that. We moved to Atlanta, and my sister introduced me to my first writing partner, and that's the guy who you met, Olu.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
shout out Olu if you watching.
So me and Olu was just like grinding for years, just trying to figure out the game and how to move in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta is a special type of market, and you got to know how to like really hustle out here. So we ended up doing a publishing deal. That was about 23. I was 23 years old at the time.
That's pretty good. That's like right out the gate, you know?
Yeah, and it was, man, we were bad. We were horrible. I remember my manager hitting me like, bro, you gonna need to get demo singers, engineers. I'm like, bro, where you even find these type of people? Like, where do you find them? And I think that was the beginning of me learning how to craft records without me being on the records. You know what I mean?
What made you want to be were you trying to be a writer? Like what?
Yeah, so you know, you go through those transitional stages. It's like first you start off as an artist, of course. You always start there. And then I got into producing a little bit.
Okay.
Was horrible at that. And then I started writing songs.
Okay.
And I really fell in love with writing songs. And I was like, just studied it. I was a studier. Like, you know, to this day, I'm on YouTube watching videos. And I think that's very important.
Super dope.
To always study your craft. But yeah, so I really got into the craft of writing songs. But I didn't have the technique of making songs sound good now. I didn't know how to do that. So when I got with my first manager, he was really coming at me about, yo, you got to get demo singers and you need engineers to make sure y'all sonics are right. And man, y'all competing with artists and writers on this level. I'm in the room with Mike Karen and I can't play y'all records from Mike Karen. I'm like, why can't you?
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's not lying.
He wasn't lying. Yeah. It was the quality. It was always about quality. And I was trying to figure that out. So in that process of just moving around, I wasn't landing any placements. So it was like 5 years of grinding as a songwriter and not landing any placements and not understanding why.
Well, you must really love music. We said, I'm gonna do 5 years and nothing. And also for context too, like I know this is the 116 Life and our fans tap in with Reach because they want to hear our perspective. But I think one thing about what Dre's talking about, it's like, we're not talking about Christian industry, CHA. You're talking about like
mainstream industry.
Like just getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Competing with everybody. It was one time, you know, a friend of mine, he gave me a perspective. He said, y'all know y'all competing with the top people in the world. You competing with Beyonce. You competing with Jay-Z, Drake. Like, every time you put out a song or you write a song, you're competing with those people. We were sending records to the same people that The Dream or Neo was sending records to. So it's like your records got to be better than those guys.
That's facts.
And at the time, it was just like we didn't really understand the concept of getting our records to that level or what it took. And I think it was just 1 year where I kind of just went back to the drawing board. I went back to the room. I'm in my room, bro. Bed behind me, studio in the closet. You know, for years. And I started working with, so what's crazy about my journey is all of my partners eventually found God, by the way.
Before, like, you was...
Before I like really started like...
Pursuing them,
Yeah, pursuing them myself. Like my partner, and God will show you like who you are. But like all of my writing partners kept leaving me.
I ain't doing these secular
I ain't
sessions,
doing
bro.
it. And I'm like, what is going on?
Devilish music.
You know, like, shout out to Olu. Olu came to me. He was like, bro, man, God is calling me, man, into ministry. I can't do it anymore. And I was like, man, go follow your heart, bro. Do what you need to do. And I ended up running into my next writing partner, who his name is Marcus. And me and Marcus started grinding it out. And then eventually Marcus like, yo, man, Christ is called. I can't do secular music no more. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? I just keep, and it was like God kind of foreshadowed where I would be.
That's fire. That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? So that was amazing. But in that process of like moving from writing partner to writing partner, I started learning how to construct records. And so Marcus was in the group Hamilton Park.
Yeah.
And they were signed to Atlantic under Andre Harrell. Rest in peace, Andre Harrell.
I ain't know Andre Harrell signed us.
Yeah.
Okay.
He like personally
Legend.
came to their house and found them. And so I think like 2 years later they left Atlantic and they ended up landing in my lap through Marcus. And Marcus just really believed in me as a talent. And he was just like, yo, bro, I think you should A&R. And I'm A&R from my mama house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm in the room, bed behind me, studio in the closet.
And you just get, but you weren't trying to get like no A&R job or anything. You were just doing. I think that's we can definitely probably get on that later. But sometimes creative people are always trying to, how do I do this? How do I get on? How do I get in this position? Me, Alex, or Dre can't stop you from doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If your purpose to do it and you're dope enough, and honestly, you just work hard enough, I can't gatekeep you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so fast forward, I want to get into your conversation too, Alex. But I know, Dre, you've been here for about 2 years.
2 years.
You've written records like, Wande and everybody. And I mean, Dre was writing with us before he even became an A&R. I hired him in 2021, came on the team, been crushing it. And it's just been a blessing to have you, man. You've been out here doing your thing and definitely adding some dope perspective. So more to come on what you've been putting your hands to and stuff. The queen, Alex, you know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Hey, talk that talk.
I mean, let's go.
Let's go. What's up?
Don't get me started.
I know.
Let's see. Journey. Ooh, this is a moment of reflection.
Let's go. We here for
Take
it.
it back.
Let's see. So I started making music when I was probably like 12.
Dang.
Like I've always like sung in church. I'm a PK. So I've always been around music, choir, praise team. Like that was my thing. But I wanted to be an artist around like 13, 14.
Okay.
And basically what happened was we got this laptop. I think it was like the first, like, this was when Mac was super early when they first started doing the laptop things.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And then in GarageBand, we figured out you can record into GarageBand if you like sing into the mic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the laptop.
Yeah.
Don't need one of these,
Hey, I was like, because we didn't know how to work a setup and all that stuff back then. It was all new. So one day we figured that out and we started making music every day, all day.
When you say we, who was the we?
Me, both of my sisters sing.
Okay.
So at that time, my younger sister, she was still just young, having a good time. But my older sister, we're like freaking frat. Like we did everything together.
Right.
And she basically taught me how to like write songs. She taught me how to record myself. She taught me about harmonies, and about all of that. So basically, our journeys are kind of like, as she was moving, I was just watching and learning and just observing because she's older. I'm like 2 years younger than her.
Right.
So we started doing that. And eventually, like, my love for music started to kind of like fade away.
What age was this?
Probably at like when I graduated high school.
Okay.
When I graduated high school, I felt like I was really into like media and editing and producing and stuff like that. So life kind of took a turn for me where I went into more of the corporate lane.
Right.
And I went into like overseeing a media division with like 30 employees.
You was managing 30 employees?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was managing
It makes sense now.
It makes sense.
Because you be, I'm like, I always be having like producers on call. Like,
Man,
she got,
what?
bro, if you need a beat, Pat, out. They come like,
Fast.
I do.
it's like they at a call center just making beats all day, waiting for the Alice call.
Man,
Like-
I really look at that. I'm like,
Got
I
him
really
in
be,
rotation.
I have to, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such a learning experience for me because I was already like one of the youngest people at the company. So
Yeah.
to like work my way up and be, you know, at that level, it was a lot of pressure.
Really?
It was a lot of pressure. And I was still doing music here and there. Me and my sister were kind of just like, you know, doing stuff here and there, but she was going hard. And after being there for about 8 years, I just realized that I'm not really doing something that I want to wake up and do every
You worked
day.
there for 8 years?
8 years.
Wow.
Yep.
She made some money.
Oh, I made some money. The money was great. The money was great.
Dang,
but-
I didn't know you was tapped in that long.
Oh, I was tapped in.
That's crazy.
We came on like 8 different countries. Like it was an everyday show. So it was very high intensity type
Sure.
thing. And I actually went on vacation to Made in America in Philly.
Shout out that fest. I want to go one year, but yeah. Go.
It was amazing. And I remember telling my sister, when we got back to the hotel, my younger sister, I took her with me. And I told her, I was just like, man, I feel like a strong pull to do a career change.
Right.
Like I've always kind of been touch and go with the music, building relationships, like, you know, internships and
Sure.
studio sessions.
Right.
And not really taking it as serious as I wanted to, but that festival, I don't know what was going on there. It was just an energy that was there. And I just knew like that day, when I got back to work on Monday, I resigned.
Like that.
Just like that.
Who was at that festival? Who performed? You know, remember who performed?
It was like
early?
right before COVID. Because
Okay.
Doja was like the big
Oh,
moment.
wow.
Doja Cat.
That's so recent.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, it was like 2019.
Okay. That's crazy. I
Right
had no
before
idea.
COVID hit, I think.
Alice moved like she been in the music business for 10 years, 15 years.
What?
That's how it feels.
That's dope though.
Yeah.
So you so when you made that switch, what did you do? Did you just like start writing or producing or manage? Like what?
When I made that switch, I started I'm kind of like Dre. Like I had a setup in my room, like everywhere I go. Like,
Sure.
roll out the bed, make a beat.
Creatives, artists, A&Rs, producers, please hear this, y'all.
Yes.
If you're doing music, you got to be able to have a setup where you can get an idea out.
Yeah.
I don't care what the quality as much, but you got to be able to get a decent idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just had to drop.
And you got to have a catalog. That was preached to me my entire life.
Absolutely.
If you want to be anything regarding music, you got to have something to show for yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was doing on my downtime. When I was in my severance mode, I was just trying to see, like, put my faith out there. And then one day, I saw a post on Instagram about Reach. And I was like, oh,
Would you?
I think I could kill this.
Who you saw? Like, did you follow Reach? Were you tapped? Like, where'd it come from?
Okay, so this is a funny story. I don't even know if Few knows this. I'm about to put him on the spot.
Shout out Few.
Shout out Phil.
So I met Few through Kenton Jones.
Okay.
That's kind of how we crossed paths. So
Yeah.
I followed him. And I saw that, you know, he was signed here. We were actually like working on a record. And trying to work on a record. So we've been talking. So I had followed him and followed Reach and saw that were hiring that way. So I hit Few. And I was like, Few, like, I'm thinking about, you know, applying to this, just put in a good word for me. He was like, all right, cool. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, all right, let me just apply because I feel like I'm qualified. And Ace oh my God, Ace took me, I don't know if he did this to you. He took me through about 8 rounds of interviews. Gruesome. Ace is like, send me some songs you're excited about. Okay, but what about this? Like, what do you think about this? Okay, I need you to come in and do an interview. It was probably one of the most intense
She crushed
processes.
it though.
Yeah.
She crushed it. We were just making sure. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
We shout out to Ben and Katie specifically. In 2022, there was a push because things were going well. And Dre, you're my third hire, but the first like hire I had where it's like I had a creative. I mean, Wande was on my team before, and she went to be an artist. So I was like, wow, I actually have somebody that's creating with me. And Ben and Katie were like, yeah, we need to let's just invest more in A&R. I'm always naturally at any company. I've always been like fiscal. I just like I'm not gonna ask so much. I'm gonna do a lot with a little. That's how I operate. Right. So I never really high demanding. They were like, no, let's add one more A&R. So they was like, you go find an A&R, and I was like, okay, because working here is a specific thing.
Yeah.
And we can get into it more in the next segment. But I will say what was kind of providential, divine. I mean, Alex, there were so many people that submitted, and I actually skipped over your video interview first. Mm-hmm. And something maybe come back to it. I don't know what it was.
Wow.
Because I was like, Because I was like, she was kind of chill in the interview. It was like, who's this person? Like, she don't really want this job. But I promise you, this is where you got to sometimes chalk things up to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I came back out of nowhere. I didn't even know Few referred this job to you. Yeah. Few never called me about Alex.
That's crazy.
There was no Ace, check this out.
Yeah.
There was none of that.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew God had a hand in me. And I knew I definitely wanted to find a woman to add more diversity to our staff.
I remember that. You were very specific about that.
Wow.
We got enough dudes up in here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, it'd be great if it was a black woman.
Yep.
I know I wanted those, but I did not. Few didn't hit me and say, "Hey, check her out."
That's crazy.
It was revealed to me spiritually or subconsciously for those who don't know the Lord. Yeah, I'm working on y'all, and that's how you got here. So we can get into this more in the next segment. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm here with the incredible Dream A&R team, Dre, Alex. Yeah, stay tuned for more after this break. I'm here with the amazing Reach Records A&R team. Shout out Alex and Dre. And we were just talking about how they got here. And on the break, we were just saying, like, I mean, I've said this before. I think sometimes creative people, specifically creative people who know the Lord, there's been times where I feel like we be taking too much credit for things that God did. And so, like I said, I didn't know that Few had referred you to me. I just was... Something nudged my heart to go back to your resume.
Wow.
But since you've been here, Alex, since you've been here, Dre, y'all not have just been here. You guys have put your hands on a lot of things. And I think something I've heard you say before, Alex, was just like, if you want to have an impact, you got to add value.
Right.
I mean, I love Lecrae and Ben. I love Reach Records. I feel like they respect me. And the artists, I love my artists. Love y'all, every one of y'all. We're not here because we're liked. Yeah. Being likable is a plus.
Yeah.
But why are you guys sitting here? What's the thing that you have to do to be in these positions? You know what I'm saying?
Man, like I said before, like you have to understand how to make a good record. It's not. I really feel like that's a God-given talent. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have the best voice, the best delivery, the best beat, but if you don't know how to put your hands on something and really construct it to where it's not over people's head, or if it doesn't land the right way, then it doesn't really matter. And I think that that's something that me and Dre both kind of specialize in, and that's why the artists trust us the way they do, because we're able to like listen to ideas and really take them to the finish line.
Right. I feel like it's all about taste. You know what I mean? It's like
that's good.
One thing about Alex I can say is that she has amazing taste. Like she knows a good sound, you know what I mean? A good kick drum, what that sounds like, what a great snare sounds like, what type of cadences are in style.
For sure.
I think a lot of times it's like the subtle things are what kind of make you valuable. Like your ear for sonics is what makes you valuable. Your ability for what lyric like sounds good next to another lyric. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of our value is. For sure. It's just that we won, like the gift was given to us, but then we also did our work to enhance the gift and study.
That's a bar.
Yeah, man.
Steve, like, can you retweet? Can you just say that one more time, bro?
The gift was given to us, but we did what we had to do, and we did to enhance that gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is studying, man. Just study what's out there. Like, don't be afraid to listen to what's going on, so that you can know, okay, these things are popular. Let me bring it over here.
And repetition. Like I think people are so antsy to go viral or to get noticed by a label. It's like I've been making songs for long time. Same thing with Dre. Like there's hundreds of songs that will probably never see the light of day, but it's not about that. It's about getting better.
Yes.
And starting to realize, oh, like I hear that differently, or oh, I know how to make that better. But you're not gonna get there if you just think that you got 50 songs and you ready to be a superstar.
Exactly.
Man, that's
You
fact.
know?
And speaking of 50 songs and speaking of 1K Few, I feel like y'all's handprint was on the As I Am album, which was recently nominated for Best Album Packaging. Shout out Kevin Hackett. Dre, talk a little bit about what you did to make that album so special.
Yeah.
And how you dwindled, how both of y'all helped shape what was there into what came to be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that process started when I got a DM. This before I got here, actually. I got a DM from Flex, and Flex hit me and said, "Yo, could you write a song for my artist, 1K Few?"
I didn't know that. Okay.
I didn't talk to Flex in probably 3 years prior to that DM. You know what I mean? So something just in my spirit was just like, I need to be urgent about this. You know what I mean? I need to get to this. So that night, like, I was in a session, I changed what we was working on and decided to write the song, and I ended up writing the song. And Flex was like, "Yo, man, can you come to a session?" When I came to that session, I brought 2 people with me. I brought Kelsey from Sony, and I brought producer Zay Bands with me.
Zay Bands.
Yeah. And brought them in that session. Kelsey and Flex hit it off immediately. And in their friendship is when the idea for As I Am started growing. And they actually came together and they figured out a storyline for the project and things like that. And I was just at the time, I was still trying to, I was still moving around while that album was getting constructed. And then once I got the job here, me and Flex really locked in and just started like detailing it up. Yeah, man, it was the Move It record,
Move It,
man. Like, even that, I remember sitting here and we had a producer, Hero. He was working on the beat, and I was like laying out here, and I just started hearing whistling right from the room. I'm like, what's going on? I went in there and heard the record, and he was like, yeah, man, I got this idea. Few in there working, and when I heard it, the Move It, I was like, yo, bro, you got to put this moment, that Move It. I was like, yo, you got to put this moment in there. And I sat there. Like, another thing is I'm an engineer as well.
Yeah.
So if I hear something, I'll sit down at that board and start moving that record around. So I was just moving the record around. So it's a lot of times where, like, I'll jump in and like move pieces around in the record.
Yeah,
or
you definitely be arranging stuff.
Oh man, like arrange,
rearranging.
What?
Boy.
Like, really, I feel like the record is in the arrangement.
Absolutely.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
good.
If you understand arrangement techniques and how many parts should be in a record, I'm gonna give y'all a technique. For instance, there should be no more than 3 to 4 different melodic parts in a record if you want it to be catchy. There you go. I'm gonna give you that for free.
No more gems.
you gotta send an invoice or
I'm
something.
gonna give you that for free. You know what I mean?
That's so dope, man. I feel like, and Alex, you came in towards the tail end of the As I Am record, and I feel like we were headed somewhere, but there were some things that needed to be. Yeah. Shout out Few for just trusting us too.
Right.
We without the artists, we just couldn't even do what we do. So talk about how you pitch your some of your perspective on that album. And
I think maybe like my first week, we had the like final listening track list type meeting, and we were talking afterwards, and we were just like, I feel like it's great, but it's something missing still. So Few was a great team player. He was like, all right, let's fight and see what we get. So I went back, called Jube, shout out Jube. And he sent me over a crazy pack, sent it over to Few. Few, one thing about Few, like he spits these records out like it's nothing. You send him a beat, he gonna send it back in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So sent him the beat that ended up being Speed Racer. And then I sent him the other beat that ended up being Father Abraham. And those were the 2 beats that stood out for me from the pack immediately. I was like, it has high replay value. I think people would love to hear Few over like a electric guitar. And when I sent it to the guys, they were like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And really, those 2 records I feel like came out so smooth. Like,
Yeah, they did.
Few killed the hook. He killed.
snapped.
I think Dre might have pushed him a little harder on Father Abraham on one of them, on one of the verses, but it ended up just putting the icing on top of
And
it.
that's so dope how, like, you know, y'all really, those are examples of, you know, what the beauty of having a team and being A&Rs. But even in more in depth, I think it would be dope to talk about, let's talk about Spread the Ops, which is to me one of the Lecrae's, I'm trying to say this without leaving something out. That's one of his hardest rap. When I say rap, like, Spread the Ops is one of Lecrae's hardest rap records to me. Like, he has a bunch of them, so I'm not pitting this one against the other ones. But if you're saying, like, yo, name the 5 hardest Lecrae, like, rap records, Spread the Ops is definitely top 5. Alex would be like, it's not 5, too. That's what she would say. All right, so talk about...
Come on now.
We all kind of worked on this record together.
Yeah.
You want to tell, like, how did this come about, and then we can probably say more about CC4. But yeah, how did that record come together?
Yeah. So same thing. I was kind of going crazy my first month here at Reach. I felt like I kind of like after the first week, I understood what I needed to bring to the table to, you know, help these guys take it to another level. They were already going crazy, but I'm like, let me make sure I bring something. So I felt a little pressure. So I called, Ace came and basically told me that we're working on CC4. We really, really need an amazing single. So I'm like, okay, we have to think outside of the box here. So I called Christina. Shout out to Christina. And she sent KP up here. Slim came up here. A whole bunch of other guys. And we did a listening session. I think Craig might have even been here. I know you were.
Jumped in.
Yeah.
He was here.
We were going through records. And then the Spread the Ops beat came on.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like a sample of like kids tucked in the background that you could hear. But it was like, they were saying like something weird. But we liked like the feeling of it. So Ace was like, how about we like do something with the kids? Like the kids on the record is crazy. And I'm like, the kids on the record is crazy. Like, but is it weird or is it crazy? So we ended up bringing in a children's choir that I knew about. Shout out AGI.
AGI, yeah.
AGI Entertainment. They came, kids super professional. And me, Ace, and Lecrae, we sat in there and just played the beat over and over again. Like, how can we do something that is simple, that is catchy, and that makes sense with the sonic of the record? I think that was our main goal.
Yeah.
Just making sure it wasn't too busy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, because you got that first half where it's like, Holy Father, but then that second half, like, where you just repeat the Spread the Ops, I feel like when we got to that point, we would start looking around the room like, all right, this is kind of insane.
Yeah.
So we brought the kids in. They cut the record. It came out amazing. Craig came, met the kids. They were super excited. And then we brought Dre in, let him hear the record. And then he really helped construct the verses, the delivery of it.
Yeah, he did.
That was a really intense just moment, I think, for all of us. Because we were really on Craig's head. Yeah. We were like, I mean, every line, every delivery.
He recut that verse. I mean, there was notes coming from Marcus, from Ben, from Dre, Alex. Just shout out to Lecrae. Lecrae was like, all right, I'll go back in.
He did. He was a team player.
He really was.
I think because he just knew how special the song was.
Yes,
like, we were genuinely excited about that record. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was a fun one.
Man.
And then the video came and that record really kind of put pressure on the A&R team, because that record dropped, I think, July 2022.
Yeah.
And was that the first
single off CC4, Church Close 4, and we didn't have the album done.
No.
Yes.
No.
We were nervous.
Yes.
Boy. Remember? I feel like from July to October, if you know me, my facial expression was like, I'm not nervous. I'm concerned, y'all. We don't have the music.
Yeah, you kept it more cool than me. I was nervous.
We were all freaking
I didn't know
out.
how it was gonna come together. Ace is a professional. He's been doing this for years, and I in that moment I seen you under pressure, like really like, nah, we gonna get it. Like, even if you were nervous, you made sure the team wasn't nervous. You like, nah, it's gonna happen.
But
it's
he
gonna come
did keep
together.
saying, we got to figure out what's next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I kept saying we don't have another single. Marketing is like, we need bounces, y'all. we ain't got. I said we got an album, kind of. I ain't got no single for y'all. When I say single, like, as the fan, we want to give y'all something that's gonna like you know, makes you want to play it back.
Yeah.
Speak something to your heart. Like Spread the Ops is literally like a liturgical sermon sung by kids over a trap beat.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's outside of it being dope. It's literally like spiritual warfare on rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the concept. But it's like it's hard to, and I don't want to like make it sound like we don't know what we're doing, but it's like we put our heart into these records and we fought to we didn't have Church Close 4 done until like maybe end of October, which is
the last hour.
It was the last. I mean, Deconstruction came last.
Can I tell them about Deconstruction?
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, I was in the studio one day just chilling, and Ace comes in. He's like, I want to play this idea that I thought was cool, but I don't know. I think it's kind of like not crazy. So he plays it. He plays Deconstruction, like maybe just like a 30-second portion of it. It wasn't even all the way built out yet. And I'm like, who's that singing? He's like, that's me. Like super nonchalant about it. I'm like, Ace, this is crazy. Like,
it's crazy.
What are you talking about? Go finish it. Like, what are we talking about here?
What?
He's like, all right, cool. I didn't know if I was tripping. I'm like, man, to hear the finished version of that, I was like, this man is crazy.
The right way.
That was we all had little even Journey record, Dre. I mean,
that was a person. I was really into that record.
I thought you said a tear in the studio, and that was
crazy. So like what happened was Flex had the record for a minute, and then we were trying to get it done, and I was begging Flex to get the kid to come in and sing. I'm like, yo, every month I'm on Flex head, like bring this kid to do this record, bring this kid. And the kid came, he came like no gas in his car with a tank top on, and like went in there, he really sung his heart. Like that record was his heart.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean, what he was going through.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's why you feel it. The journey.
So personal.
Man, and what like a perfect segue into our next segment. Like the journey is the moment, not the arrival. Like the journey is the sermon. I feel like it's been not even good. It's been a great journey rocking with y'all, and I feel like I would love to hear, you know, even y'all's touch point on the summer playlist, and I think, you know, advice for other artists on their journey on how they can like really, you know, get to where they need to be and stay tapped in to make great music. So this is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris, with
Alex.
Dre Hunter.
We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris, and I'm here with
Alex.
Dre Hunter.
And this is the Reach Records A&R team in the building, going through their journey, their story, and how we put these songs together so that people like you can continue streaming, being fans, supporting, buying merch, getting 116 tattoos, pulling up at shows. I really appreciate every stream, every listen. Because it really like, man, I just know we don't take it for granted. And that's why we go so hard to fight on these songs. Because we want y'all to keep coming back and being inspired by the music. So we talked about CC4, As I Am, and y'all's role as A&Rs. Fast forward into the playlist, the summer playlist, which I know, Dre, this is your second one. Oh, this is your third, actually.
Oh, because, I came
2021,
2021,
Alex, this is your second one.
Yeah.
And I think if there's one record we got to get a backstory on, which is, I think this summer 23 playlist was definitely like, we made some adjustments this year to make things tighter. I gotta talk about Stay Low.
Stay Low.
Stay Low was the song of the summer, the song of the playlist for me.
Yeah.
Talk about how that record came together, Alex. Like,
so Stay Low. So actually, Ace played me a demo that had this really catchy part in it that I just kind of like kept in my head. I'm like, we gotta do something with that. This was probably like my third week at work.
It was
very early. This might have been like the first session that I had here where we kind of came up with Stay Low. So I was in with Glow, shout out Glow, and we were actually working on some stuff for Lecrae.
Yeah,
I
remember.
And we basically did like verses and a pre-hook to that. And after the initial idea, I kind of just like tucked it. I sent it to my sister, Jordan, and just like never really played it again. She hit me on the way back from when y'all went to go record Wild and Free. She hit me and was like, have you talked to Dre and Ace about Stay Low? And I'm like, Stay Low? Where's Stay Low? She's like, that idea you had, Stay Low. Like, we played it in the car on the way back. And they like really like loved it.
I remember
and I'm like, dang, I forgot about Stay Low. She's like, yeah, like it's something there. So I'm like, okay. I took the song with the idea, ripped the vocals off and sent it to Jube. Sent it to Jube and told him I want it to be a very, very hard, aggressive trap record. But I wanted to still complement the female like tone. So he's like, all right, cool, let me go crazy. He sent it to Jaden and they kind of did their thing. And that's how we came up with like the new beat, the new feel of Stay Low. So then Dre asked, like they loved it and they're like, what if, I think Dre might have said it, I don't remember. In the playlist meeting, Dre's like, we need to have like a really big moment for the female rappers.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, like that would be crazy. And they're like, what if we put, you know, CC, Toya, and Reese on the record and just see how it comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't really sold. I'm not gonna lie.
Initially?
Like, initially, I wasn't really sold. Only because I didn't know if it was a one person record.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only.
No, but I think the magic happened when we had the Unashamed camp that Dre spearheaded for the playlist. And shout out Dre for bringing everybody in community. It's like sometimes the best records you can't feel them until you're in the room with the right people.
Right.
And we had the second half of the hook, which is Alex. That's Alex. I don't know if I can say it. That's her voice on the Stay Low part. Shout out Alex. But you was like, yo, we need a pre-hook part.
Yeah.
And you was like, it needs to be a chant. And I was like, yes, absolutely. And we was there. And then you like round up Toya and Reese in the booth, and y'all was in there.
Yeah.
And then you laid down like a cadence.
We laid down.
And then the whole room, we all just pitched in. Clark, we all was just throwing. And we were fighting for lyrics, y'all. We were fighting. Like Toya, I mean, shout out Toya. I think she said a lyric. Me and her were like, because there was this tension of like, it needs to be faith driven, but we don't want it to sound so obviously Christian hip hop. Sometimes can be like a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to mention a funny moment about that while they were working on that record. So it was an idea I had. I ran in the room like, yo, y'all gotta come hear this idea. Ace was like, wait. wait.
Do you remember that?
We gonna stay in this moment right here.
We almost got something.
We on to something. I was like, all right,
Get you out, Drake. Get you out.
I just honestly in my heart, I wasn't leaving that night until we had the hook.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew we had, and we were fighting for lyrics. And then shout out Toya because we had most of the lines, and Toya was like, and I was feeling it because I didn't want to be the Uncle Christian youth pastor in the room, but I was like, we need something to kind of point to God in a fresh way. And I think Toya was like, yeah, like spirit. And then somebody was like, spirit speak. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. We need to, because it's like fight music. It's like spiritual fight music. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, it came together, song got done.
And when we got to the verse, me and Dre, shout out Toya for real.
Shout out Toya, man. That's a soldier.
Every time. Because me and Dre, I mean, we were drill sergeants in there.
We was on her.
You know what I'm saying? Because we kept hearing how, like when she rewrote her verse, I think, after that night. And she came back in and we were going in. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes A&Rs get frustrated, y'all.
Yeah.
I looked at Dre and gave him the look like, my boy, you got this. Yeah. I believe in you.
Yeah, tag me in.
But I'm out right now.
You was done.
I was done.
Tag me in.
Because I wasn't seeing the vision. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I was like, maybe I got to just step away from it and come back to it.
Yeah.
But Toya ended up killing it.
She did.
Like people don't know, but we cut her and then we actually toned her voice down one key, just so it set perfectly with the note of the song.
That's a bar.
It was
worked.
amazing.
It's one of
I think that's one of those things where it's like records just don't come in 15 minutes, guys. Like you have to keep working. If there's a feeling there, keep chasing the feeling until you get it. Don't just give up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good. You're really good for that, Dre.
Oh, yeah.
Say more about that. Say more.
Yeah, like I'm big on, there could be one lyric that sounds good in this entire song, and I say, let's scratch everything and let's start from this lyric.
Yeah.
And we write a whole song to that lyric, and I'm like, okay, this verse sounds good. Let's scratch everything and start from this verse.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing that until the song is perfect. And I feel like, it's art, and that's how you should approach art. And we shouldn't forget that this is art. You know what I mean?
Good.
And like the greatest artists, some of their greatest pieces wasn't made in a day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes years. Like the Bruno Mars record, I heard took like 3 years or something like that,
That's
or 2
crazy.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we got to keep on fighting for art, and that was the
That's
moment.
super dope, man. Shout out y'all's work on the playlist as A&Rs, and I think it just says a lot about everybody coming together.
Yeah.
Right.
And given the context of the 116 life and being unashamed, how important is it to like really love on others well, to represent y'all's talent and collaborate with people? Like, how do you
Absolutely.
guys do that when sometimes you may have a high bar for quality, but you have to like walk with people
Yeah.
in those tough and time-consuming moments to get to the record? Like, what's that look like for you, Alex or Dre? Like, being patient, like leaning on wisdom and stuff like that to really be a great A&R. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just like I'm really black and white. So it's like if there's a thing to where I'm just into making sure people feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely, that's important.
And Dre's really big on that too.
Yeah.
Like I hate this thing where artists come to the studio and they want to be cool and they want to take pictures and they want to like have this persona of like, oh, I'm working. But it's like you don't want to get out of your element. You don't want to look crazy in the booth. You don't really want to fight. So I think the biggest thing is like the artist has to really want to get the best record. And I think with so many songs coming out now that are just so like half done, just thrown together, it's not a high level of like quality. It's not a high level of expectation there. So I think like artists need to kind of like reapproach, you know what I'm saying, how they approach records.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
I think the biggest thing is like reminding the artists that one, we in here together. We all working together at this.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, just because we said redo something, that doesn't mean you're bad. We're just trying to find the best idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All of us are, I could throw out a terrible idea as well. I'm not saying my idea is the best. We're just trying to find the best. So don't be upset if I say, hey, cut that again. Hey, say that over. And it don't matter if it takes once or 30 times.
Right.
Like, keep fighting. Like, I'm big on, bro, keep fighting with me. Like, let's fight
okay.
together.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something that
dope.
I'm big on. Like, when we in there with artists, it's like, yo, we fighting together.
Yeah.
Like, let's make sure we all in this together. Like, nobody's against nobody. Nobody's saying that you're not great at what you do. It's just that we're searching for greatness in this moment for this particular record.
Let's talk about why it's important. Like, why fight for greatness? Why do you guys, being specifically here at Reach, why care? Like, when sometimes it feels like people, on TikTok, going viral, and mainstream, sometimes people just be winning, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Why do y'all care so much to fight with y'all gifts here specifically?
Man. Oh, you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
For me, I don't like the Christian hip hop is whack talk. That does something for me.
Talk
know
about
what
it,
I'm saying?
Alex.
Come on now.
So I grew up listening to only Christian music because like the household and stuff like that. So I understand where the narrative comes from. You know what I'm saying? But when I got the opportunity to actually like be involved and cultivate it, it's the way that I approach it. Like, I'm not approaching this as, oh, like this is a Christian record, so let me just get the most decent beat and let me say glory to God 20,000 times, or just the simple cadences or the basic subject matters. Like, no, like I want people to listen to it and be like, what is this? Is this mainstream? Is this gospel? Is this CCM? Like, I want you to be thrown off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
dope.
I want that to be attached to my name. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not approaching it the same way that God would and putting our best foot forward, it's like, why are we doing this?
That's, I feel like we just, that's, but anything you want to add to that?
I mean,
Drake?
I'm passionate about it because of what it represents and who we're bringing to the mainstream space, which is Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why I'm so big about the press runs and the media part, is because I'm like, we have medicine for people's soul, especially our community.
Yeah.
Our music in the mainstream space is destroying the black community. And I feel like Christian hip hop is not going to solve the problem, but it at least can help it start going in the right direction. And so that's what is driving me so hard to be like, we need a superstar in this space, not to be seen, not for the Grammy, but because that superstar is going to yell out Jesus Christ at the top of the mountain and that could save somebody's life, especially when it looks like them with dreads and tattoos and whatever, or the 808s in the song, but it's speaking of Jesus in the music, and I think that's very important. I think what we doing is, I think we're part of history, and it's going to change a lot of things, and that's why I love this team too, because we're fighting so hard for great quality, and it's going to cut through. You know what I'm saying? And when it cuts through, it's going to save a lot of souls, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's super dope. I think, man, I just want to marinate on that for a little bit. That's just so, it's inspiring for me. Y'all inspire me.
Yeah.
As people who didn't necessarily come from the Christian hip hop space, which I actually think is y'all superpower.
Yeah.
Because you have an outsider's view, so there's less there's less likely to like be so gentle or bureaucratic or political. It's just like, but that ain't dope. And then when you think about the banner that we're carrying, it makes me want to get better at what I'm doing, so we can all get better. And it's gonna be benefits here, of course. You know, whether that's commercial success, award nominations, all those things are great. I love it. You know, I just want to. My heart does ache for a culture that says, "Dang, I didn't see." Like when I've said this a few times, when Black China U spread the ops in her one of her like salvation posts, it's like, oh, that's how we're here to impact culture. And the great music is like the first foot into that opportunity to do that. So I mean, I appreciate you guys so much, Dre and Alex.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad that the fans can get to see y'all up and close even more. I know you guys been stepping out even more. But anything else y'all want to say before we wrap it up?
Let's tell these folks.
See where they can find you, or
So you can find me at Dre That's You on Instagram.
I'm at Dre the Goat.
And then I think, let's explain how to find that summer playlist for the people. It's complicated. You know what I mean?
Go to Reach Records on all platforms, and its link is in the bio.
Link is in the bio, y'all.
I appreciate y'all. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. Shout out our producer Matt, always killing it in the back.
Matt.
We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.